একটু ওয়েট করে যান, রেনিমা সম্ভবত এখন জয়েন করেনি, ওরা একটু জয়েন করে যাক, সবার শুরু করছি আমরা।
ওকে স্যার।
সামিয়া শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ওকে।
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, respected teachers and my fellow friends. Here we are gathered around to discuss about our presentation based on a topic on green HRM, which is the dire need of this hour. And I'm Meghna Bhagat, and my roll number is 76.
I am Sukanya Pasmalik. My roll number is 17.
I'm Sudipto Paul. Good evening, everyone. My roll number is 18.
Tanya.
Tanya?
Yes. Hi, this is Tanya. Good afternoon, everybody. And my roll number is 06.
Okay.
So, in today's presentation, we will be talking about GHRM.
Sukanya, একটু জোরে বলতো, সাউন্ড আসছে না।
আচ্ছা। শোনা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ।
Okay. So today we are here to present our project on GHRM, which is a dire need of this hour. And before we begin, I would like to run you down through the outline of today's presentation. So in the beginning, I will be giving an introduction, followed by which Meghna will be defining GHRM. After that, Sudipto shall throw light on the literature review of today's research. After that, Tanya will be elucidating the objectives of today's research, after which I shall speak again to talk about our research methodology. After that, we will have an analysis which Meghna will help us interpret, followed by which Tanya will speak again to let us know about some environmental friendly solutions to stay green. After that, Tanya and I shall take our turns in elucidating the advantages and disadvantages of GHRM, after which Sudipto shall shed light on the few limitations of this particular research, after which I will conclude today's presentation. So, in order to begin, I would like to say that across the planet, especially during this time, we are striving to a realization that boosts the industry production, technology, and other activities. Now, this not only the GHRM, this not only improves human comfort, but also improves its standard of living, the standard of living of us humans. On the other hand side, it also improves ecological risk that arose, ecological threats that arose against mortal entity. So this is a time when we humans need to use green practices to protect the environment and, most importantly, reserves of the earth. Greening workers, however, from top to bottom, is not a simple process, but pro-environmental agenda and enforcing green human resource management practices essentially has produced a positive outcome towards the green environment. But this can be done with more ease when this concept is engraved in the minds of the young people through education system. Say, for example, if we have a sapling, you can change its position in your garden. It will adjust to its new circumstances and it will still grow. But that is not possible for a grown tree. Say, for example, a tree which is 100 years old. You cannot displace it from one place to the other. So this paper focuses upon GHRM, various green human resource practices, and it explains the role of green human resource process and how we can go green. Finally, the paper suggests some social implication of green human resource practices which could be inculcated in the enterprises, and this also suggests how the same can be inculcated within schools and college curriculum. So in order to understand this concept, we need to know what HRM is first. Now, we human beings, we are civic beings. We barely ever live or function in solitude. So we always intend to formulate and oversee our connections both consciously as well as unconsciously. And human resource management itself revolves around the core issue of regulating associations at a workplace. Now, HRM is an administration function pertaining to hiring, stimulating, and retaining people in a company. It comprises of, say, actions, agreements, practices, which are all encompassed in obtaining, cultivating, utilizing, and analyzing, and also conserving the human resources of an organization. So it trains and formulates the interpersonal as well as the intrapersonal abilities of workers. And now Meghna shall let us know how this can be done better through Green HRM.
So, first of all, the word green brings a lot of questions in our mind, that what is green all about? Green is something which help us think of our Mother Earth in a different way. Like due to the happening current situation, due to this COVID-19 attack, we have now started thinking about our Mother Earth in a different way. Previously, our perceptions were different. We were doing whatever we feel like doing, and now we are seeing that it has some kind of outcomes which can adversely affect the human beings again. So the green HRM concept has come into effect due to initiation of the green movement as well as the need for sustainable development all around the world. Green movement is all about sustainability, social justice, environmentalism, ecology, and conservation. Green movement has come into effect from a long time ago. Like we know about the Chipko movements, and there are different kinds of those kind of movements that people have engaged themselves. Mainly few people, not the whole world. So from that point of time, we should have brought into consideration this green HRM also in case of the organization. Green HRM is totally based on sustainable development. Sustainable development is can be defined as the economic development that can be brought into effect without the depletion of the natural resources, so that the future generation can also use these resources the way we are doing. Like we should be using electricity, for an example, in such a way that the amount of fossil fuels should also be present in the later years, so that our future generations can also use it. Now, sustainable development is based on three concepts: ecological, which includes the natural resources and conservation of these natural resources; economic, we should be developing ourselves in economically in such a way so that the economy should not be disturbed, but at the same time, it will also prevail in the same way in the later future also. And social, which is to improve the living standards of lives and safety of all people. Now, Green HRM helps in creation of platform where workforce can experience high job satisfaction, better job engagement, which will result in increased productivity. Now, Green HRM takes into consideration those policies which are really helpful for the organization, for the employees, as well as for the environment also, like going paperless, uh, is using insulated buildings, you're using cutting down electricity consumption, using the different policies so that our Mother Earth can sustain its resources for a longer period of time. Now, as I explained few examples, this can be done, this can also help in reduction of the cost, provide better efficiency, reduce carbon footprints, establish green awareness among the peoples, among the employees, initiate green work-for life balance. Now, for the carbon footprint, I would like to add, carbon footprint can be described as the emission of greenhouse gases. Mainly here we will consider the carbon dioxide, the amount of carbon dioxide exhaled into the environment by the different processes performed by the individuals or the organization or group of people. Like, for example, if we are going for a grocery shop to buy something, either we will be taking a bike or car, whatever be the transport. Then in the grocery shop also, the staff and the owner will be there, who will be coming up there with using a different kind of transportation. Now, this all the transport in, gives out certain amount of carbon dioxide into the environment. Moreover, the vegetables available at the grocery shops have been brought there with the help of any kind of transportation system, which again is also giving out carbon dioxide. So taking into consideration, and also the amount of electricity used by the grocery shops, taking into consideration, calculating all these carbon dioxide and whatever is required for running of that shop will be termed as the carbon footprint usage of that organization. So if we are applying the green HRM policies, then there will be a reduction in the carbon footprint usage also, which will be a very effective step in saving our Mother Earth. Like we know the depletion of ozone layer is very dangerous, and it was happening, and now it's been changing due to the less amount of global warming and the less greenhouse gases presently because of this COVID-19. So here I have we have related few uh, theories that we have studied before in our previous semesters to make this concept more clearer to everyone. Like we have related Maslow's theory of motivation with green HRM in such a way that first of all, Maslow's theory states that every human being has 5 kinds of needs in their life. First of all, the physiological needs, those are the necessities of the life, we can say, like the food, shelter, water, clothing. Those are physical needs, physiological needs. When these needs are satisfied, then the person move on to the second block, that is the safety needs. The safety requirements, like whatever a person does to keep themselves safe from the damages, like life insurance or any kind of thing that a person do. Then the social needs, like there everyone tries to mingle with other people, try to communicate with them. There are certain needs like to get recognized by others, to get established. Those are social needs. And then the esteem needs, like to reach to a position where everyone can respect themselves, that kind of need. And then the self actualization, where a person can say to himself that yeah, I have done something, and the person is satisfied with themselves, with himself or herself, sorry. So green HRM will help in achieving these kinds of needs in such a way, like the physiological needs can be achieved by the environment prevailing in the organization. If we are applying green policies, then environment will be prevailing in the organization, which will help the employee to perform in a better way, and which will be also which will also provide satisfaction to the employee working there. Then the safety needs, as the environment will be good prevailing in the organization, a person will obviously feel more safer to work in that organization than the other. Then the social esteem and the self actualization, this together, like whenever we do something good, either for some other people or for the environment, we feel that yes, we have done something good. Now when an organization does something good, they also feel a great privilege in doing that, and they do a lot of campaigns to promote those kinds of works. So there again comes a satisfaction as well as a reverence or respect for themselves, which make them feel more satisfied. Next, another theory that we have related to is Herzberg's theory of motivation that states that there are certain motivation and hygiene factors that cause job satisfaction and few other factors that cause job dissatisfaction. And here we will be considering those factors which helps in the motivation by the use of green HRM policies. Now, Herzberg stated that the responsibility, recognition, achievement, and growth motivates an employee to a great level. In green HRM policies, the employees are taken into consideration to a much extent. Like every employees are included in the organization to decide certain steps. Mainly, in management terms, we can say decentralization prevails in an organization. So every employee feels that, yeah, I have been doing something for my organization, and they feel that, yes, I am a part of this organization, I am important for this organization, which helps increasing the holding rate or the retention rate of that employee. To clear the picture on retention rate, I would like to add that whenever employee stays in the organization the longer period of time, the retention rate increases for that organization. Green HRM policies considers that the employee should be prevailing in the organization for a longer period of time. That will be beneficial for the organization, for the employee working, as well as for the environment. For the environment, because if an employee leaves the organization and goes away, then the organization has to search for some other employee, due to which they have to go for different advertisements, for different vacancy programs, and different kind of resource they go for in order to fill up that position. And for that, again, a lot of resources are used, which is which is causing the depletion of those resources, like the use of electricity in creating the advertisement, use of capital knowledge for the advertisement, use of money. These all are getting affected. So the green HRM policies always keep in mind that the employee should be there in the organization for a longer period of time, and the environment should be created in such a way that they don't leave the organization and go away. So this is all that I have to add about green HRM, and more about it will be given, will be said by my friends later on.
Hello everyone, I am going to explain the literature review on this project. So first of all, I have to explain to you that what is a literature review. A literature review is a comprehensive summary of previous research on a topic. The literature review serves articles, books, and other sources relevant to a particular area of research. That is the internet. We can get a lot of material from the internet. The review should describe, summarize, and clarify this previous research. So about this project, the researchers going on confirms the need for the amalgamation of environment management as well as the human resources management. There is a huge need for implementing such practices that directly are related to the environment, human resource and human work life, because the present condition where our mother earth belongs is not at all satisfying. It is in a very poor state because the pollution levels are very high. Reviewing the relationship between HRM and environment, researchers draw the findings that HRM imparts to strengthen or further enhance the quality, value of environmental accomplishments. Many researchers have given their opinions. So we have objectively evaluated 7 points, which I am going to explain now. That the first point is the environmental performance. It consists of a managerial process that helps a firm in organization of its green initiatives by hiring green aware people. So by the term green aware people, I mean that they should be environmentally responsible for everything they do. Every work they do should be environmentally eco-friendly. That is, we can help that by empowering and training them as they become important for their organization's performance and rewarding them for performing green initiatives. Next point is the green recruitment. The green recruitment process encompasses the hiring of green aware prospects without the usage of paper. We can hold interviews by the use of the internet, send emails, hire them, employee applications can be accepted on the web as well. Interviews can be made on the telephone or online. The next is the employee involvement. Employee involvement involves an organizational environment which encourages the decisions and actions of its employees to promote green initiatives. The more the participation of the employees, the more the effective outcomes a business will achieve. Job satisfaction is a very important part because the workers have to be satisfied with the job that they're doing. The job satisfaction can be defined as the feeling of belongingness and commitment of an employee with his job, as well as towards the organization and the sense of accomplishment they receive from it. It was said by Kalberg on 1997. Satisfied employees are more willing and encouraged for playing an active role in green programs as well as for the work for which they are appointed. Satisfied employees feel responsible about the environment, and the organization show better commitment to greater green initiatives and help in enhancing environmental performance. The next point is green and rewards and compensation. It is a very important point because if we don't reward our employees, they will start feeling jaded. They will not feel good about their work. So some of the packages we can deliver to our employees are use of monetary based employee motivation rewards that we can award them bonuses, cash premiums. Use of non-monetary based employee motivation rewards, we can give them sabbaticals, paid leaves or gifts. Sabbaticals, by sabbaticals I mean that there is a paid leaves for work from home. Recognition based employee motivation rewards are we can arrange award shows, dinners, publicity of our organization. That is it. The next is the environmental training. In Green HRM, training means to formulate the staffs with opening skills as to impart them to collect waste data to raise the level of eco-literacy and environmental proficiency in the organization. Continual improvement can be attained through continuous training. This is a basic way of saying that. Next and the last point is employee motivation. Employee motivation involves employees' willingness to participate in environment-friendly activities and exert a high effort to achieve organization's environmental goals. Motivation is something that drives the human beings to reach his or her limits. Thus, motivating an employee will bring positive results not only to the person himself and also to the organization as well as the environment. Thank you.
Yeah, so the next point is the objective of the study. And under this, we are going to cover up 4 points. The first one is to shed light on how the green HRM policies and practices improves the performance of the organization in respect of sustainability. Now, what do I mean by that is, how green HRM policies, how if you implement the green HRM policies and practices in an organization, overall performance of the organization improves, and in respect to that, the sustainability. Now, what do you mean by sustainability? Is actually the meaning of economic growth is obviously same throughout in the future as well. So how green HRM policies and practices are helping an organization to do that. The second point comes to make out the role of HR personnel in achieving higher job satisfaction and commitment. How the HR can be job satisfied and be committed to the organization. The third point is to find out how green HRM evolves out as a cost-effective approach, as in if the organizations are implementing green HRM policies, how is this going to cut out on costs, and how is it going to be a low-cost maintenance and help the organization do better. The fourth point is to find out how much it is essential to include the study of green HRM in educational level to create more impact in the society. Now we know that many organizations have implemented green HRM policies, but right now the most important to grow better as a society is to include green HRM studies not only just in the organization level but also into the educational institute, so that all together we can create a huge impact in the society. That's all.
Okay. So
Sukanya?
next one.
Sukanya, are you there?
Yes, I'm okay. So now the next point is research methodology. So say for example, if we have person A and person B.
So
And
your voice
person
is
A,
cracking.
Yeah, Sukanya, your voice is not coming properly. Just one thing we can do.
Sir, I will leave this.
No,
You leave this meeting and join again.
no. One thing we can do, since the meeting of this time of this meeting is going to end, I'm doing one thing. I'm creating another session. All of you, please join at that session. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.